Step into a village in England, France or Germany, and you will find timber-framed houses still standing after 5, 6, even 7 centuries. Roof beams remain solid, floor joists continue to bear weight, and posts show remarkable resistance to rot. Modern wood in similar conditions would long have succumbed to moisture, insects and decay. This enduring durability was not the result of rare materials or luck. It was a deliberate system designed by medieval builders. They understood rot, moisture, and the behaviour of wood in ways that modern construction often ignores. For backyard builders, homesteaders, or DIY enthusiasts, the principles behind these techniques are surprisingly practical, offering a blueprint for creating structures that endure generations. Medieval builders saw rot as a biological problem to starve rather than seal. You know, modern construction often treats moisture as the enemy, attempting to trap it out with synthetic coatings or sealants. Medieval builders approached rot differently. They knew fungi needed moisture, oxygen, and nutrients to grow. Oxygen was unavoidable, and water would reach the wood. The solution was to remove nutrients, specifically the sugars and starches in timber, so decay could not take hold. By understanding wood biology and the life cycle of fungi, they eliminated rot before it started. In a modern backyard setting, this translates to preparing timber in ways that reduce its nutritional value for fungi and allowing water to move freely rather than become trapped. Timber selection and winter cutting prevented decay from the start. Not all wood is created equal, and medieval builders were, quite selective. Slow-grown trees with dense heartwood were preferred for structural elements. Sapwood, which contains higher concentrations of sugars and starches, was trimmed away or avoided. Timber was cut during winter dormancy when sap levels were lowest, reducing nutrient availability for rot organisms. For practical application today, choose heartwood-rich lumber for outdoor structures and, if possible, source wood cut during the dormant season. Even small adjustments like these dramatically increase timber longevity. One of the most effective medieval techniques was soaking timber in rivers, ponds, or tidal waters before construction. This leached sugars and starches from the wood while slowing microbial activity. Soaked wood became naturally resistant to rot and insect attack, long before any additional treatments were applied. In a backyard context, soaking fence posts, garden beds or beams before slow drying can replicate this effect, giving the timber a natural chemical-free resilience that lasts for decades. After soaking, timber was dried slowly under cover with airflow. This careful drying allowed internal fibres to compress evenly, increasing density and toughness while minimizing cracking. Modern kiln drying is, certainly faster, but it often leaves timber stressed and, quite vulnerable to moisture fluctuations. Stacking lumber properly, protecting it from rain and allowing it to dry slowly will give backyard wood the same resilience medieval builders achieved. Medieval builders often used controlled heat or, at times, light surface charring. This killed surface fungi, hardened fibres and, rather importantly, reduced water absorption. The treated wood was then coated with oils, tallow, waxes, or even pine tar. Unlike modern paints or synthetic sealants, these substances penetrated deeply, repelling water while remaining flexible. For do-it-yourself applications, you'll want to lightly torch wood surfaces, then brush away any loose char and apply warm oil or tar. It's really important to repeat this process over time to maintain protection and, well, extend the life of your structures. Medieval houses were, designed to shed water efficiently. Roofs were steep, overhangs were generous, posts were elevated on stones, and joints were constructed to direct water away. Timber was never, ever trapped in a wet environment. This design philosophy meant that water moved freely over and around the wood, allowing it to dry between rain or snow events. For backyard builders, elevating posts, sloping surfaces, and avoiding horizontal boards where water can pool are essential. Airflow around timber is as important as any treatment. Finally, medieval builders expected maintenance. Small issues were repaired early, surfaces re-oiled or re-tarred, and timber regularly inspected. This mindset prevented minor problems from escalating into rot or structural failure. For modern backyard projects, regular inspections, early repair, and periodic retreatment of timber ensure longevity. Maintenance turns good wood into, well, nearly immortal wood. The durability of those medieval houses really proves that wood longevity is a system, not just a product. Timber selection, cutting season, soaking, slow drying, surface treatment, design and maintenance all work together to create structures that could endure centuries. Backyard builders and DIY enthusiasts can apply these principles with simple tools and local materials to create outdoor structures, garden beds and sheds that survive generations rather than decades. If this guide opened your eyes to the practical genius of medieval builders, subscribe to Backyard Wisdom, share it with fellow history and DIY enthusiasts, and help preserve centuries of timeless knowledge for your own backyard projects.